3 months ago, 18-year-old party girl Jade Bear was driving her mum to distraction. Her all-night boozing was out of control.
Start out getting drunk at one of my friend's house or my house, drink a bit. On the way here, drink a bit, go to a bar, drink a bit, get here, drink a bit. By the time we leave, legless.
It's getting out of hand and it's painful to see somebody just literally destroyed themselves.
You can't walk in that fucking ass hills. What's your problem?
Jade's dad died 2 years ago, and her drinking spiralled.
I really loved my dad. He was like a proper main part in my life. Now he's gone, I don't really care about anyone else. If I weren't going out, I'd just be depressed. But since I go out, I just think it's fun. I don't think there's a point of life if you're not going to go out.
Over in Swindon, Connor Jones's weed addiction was tearing his family apart.
I smoked it once a week, twice a week, and then I got to 3 times a week, now I smoke it every day. But now I get to a point where I have to smoke more than £10 worth.
His family even believed he'd stolen money from them.
Connor, your brother had £10 in his wallet.
I never touched it.
So who took it then?
Fuck off.
Oh, I sat down and cried on my own. You know, I've sat down and think, where have I gone wrong? I'm just hoping in a few years' time that he realises what he's doing.
It wasn't just his mum who was affected by his behaviour.
I'm a dad. He's 7 months now. A little kid called Lewis. Was with the girl for 8 months and she fell pregnant. So she had the kid and all, and I haven't really paid any attention to it, to be honest.
The first 2 months, he was a really good dad. And then after that, he just started fading away.
If I had a tenner, I would think, well, Lewis and weed, and I'd think, shit, I'd actually buy weed with it.
You're right.
Hey, alright.
I'm Jade.
I'm Connor.
The teens were sent 5,000 miles away to Seattle on the west coast of America to stay with the Smith-Irwin family.
Lord God bless this food to our body. God, you're such a...
Rob and Denise are devout Christians with strong views on parenting.
Quite often when I'm having conversations, I will use the term WWJD, what would Jesus do?
After an accident left her paralysed, Denise and Rob's rock-solid faith helped them through.
You know, every step of our lives and our decisions are strongly based on a Christian fundamental belief. To us, it's basically a daily part of life. Hi, how are you?
Jade.
Jade? Connor, Jade, could you guys come down here? We'll have a quick talk.
I didn't actually care about the rules, because I knew I'd break them anyway, so it was just like...
First and primary things that we insist on is that we don't permit drinking, smoking, no alcohol, no cannabis, no cigarettes.
Is there no way we could smoke anywhere like, outside the house?
We're expecting that you're going to give up your cigarettes and there is not going to be any smoking this week. I
wouldn't be giving up my cigarettes at all. Sitting on that table with them was just so stressful. It was just horrible. You just sat there, brains hurting, listened to his dull voice for ages. It was just like, oh, come on. So I was just like, well, I'm going for a cigarette. I've had enough of this.
An hour after hearing the house rules, the teens were lighting up.
What a twat. At the end of the day, I want to smoke. It's my choice to smoke. If I enjoy smoking at the moment, I want to enjoy smoking, don't I? There's like a zombie fight in that house, man. They need fucking entertainment and all that. He's loading up a
They
little
need
bit.
some fucking alcohol in them, that's what they need.
The second day of their stay in Seattle was Independence Day.
So you guys know we're going over to a party this evening, and there's going to be some alcohol there. We don't want to take any of that.
I didn't really think it was a party because it actually weren't a party. No one was like having fun. Well, people obviously having their own fun in their own ways, but I didn't think it was fun.
I was the shittest party I've ever been to. Like, Independence party was awful. It was so bad. Everyone would just stand around like sardines and just have 1 or 2 beers. If that was me, I'd be on my ass by halfway through that party.
With free booze up for grabs, it wasn't long before the teens were breaking the rules again.
It wasn't technically stealing because they were giving it away, it's that we weren't allowed it, so technically it was just borrowing. I really should just put it back. It was like an alcohol pop. I don't feel guilty. Connor might. What is there to feel guilty about? When you're used to like, drinking like vodka and sambuca and stuff like that, that is just juice.
Oh, pardon me.
The following day was a turning point for Jade and Connor.
Is there anything that you need to tell me that happened yesterday at the party?
No? No, I was completely just lying out my ass. It was awful. I was just, every sentence I say was just like a big lie.
It was really bad because they called Connor out first and I didn't know whether Connor said, yeah, we did it. And I was just like, oh my God, so what if he said yeah and then I say no? Or what if he said no and I say yeah? And I got really scared. But then when Connor was walking past, he was like, say no. So I was just like, okay.
My initial feeling is that I believe you, and I'd like to continue believing and trusting you.
Oh, I feel so guilty. I feel so guilty.
They were all big about trust and all that. And they said they believed us and they trusted us, so I feel like shit, to be honest about it.
The Smith-Irwins were determined to show Jade and Connor their future if they didn't stop drinking and smoking. So they sent them to a local homeless refuge.
I walked through the door and I just wanted to turn around and just keep walking and never get back. That place was awful. It was like a zoo in there. Oh, it was awful. I didn't like it at all.
I actually really didn't want to be there. It sounds really rude, but I felt really dirty.
What you'll find is it's fun for now and you'll have friends who will party with you, but let's say you don't have the money to buy the drinks and you don't have the money to get the pot. Those friends are going to fade away and you're going to be possibly doing stuff that you never considered yourself doing.
Some of them have had like really hard lives, but some girls went from just being like me in school, going out having fun, and now where they are, and then it kind of made me realise that I shouldn't actually probably drink as much.
The biggest thing I learned was completely stay off weed and not take anything for granted. I'm definitely glad weed's out my life because I was always associated like as a big weed head and stuff like that, and like all the time I'd get texts saying I come out for a smoke and all that, and I still get occasionally ones now, but it's just at the end of the day I don't really want that no more.
As the week drew to a close, Denise wanted to understand the reason behind Jade's drinking.
My dad died when I was 15, yeah, just before my 16th birthday, yeah.
And that was fairly recent.
Yeah.
Do you miss your dad?
I don't know. Probably just like, forget it.
You know, if you think about it and you talk about it, and kind of instead of bottling things up, you let things out and discuss them, you feel better inside.
I don't know. It don't make sense, but it was kind of like, oh yeah, my dad's just gone away, like he's come back. That's what I was thinking. That's why I was like, oh, whatever. But then like when I went away and I talked to Denise and that, it like actually made me realise that my dad ain't come back and there ain't nothing I can do to get him back. So it was just like, oh, I might as well just be like, grieve or whatever you call it.
Change came for Connor when he attended an activity day for disabled children.
It reminded me a lot of my son, of how I could be a dad to my son. I did feel good that I was having an experience, but then I felt really guilty that, because we went to the park and all that, and we were playing all these games and all that, and then I would never have done that with my son.
Do you want to clip him up here?
Yeah. Really did make me want to be a better dad. Everything about that completely changed the perspective I had over being a dad and not being a dad.
So like, if I show you, so you're going to do it like that.
Oh,
Do you understand?
Yeah.
When we went kayaking, all he wanted to do was go faster and faster, and I was really making the effort for him to go faster. I just kept picturing my son's head on the back of his head, and every time I was doing it, I just really wanted him there.
Just want to say goodbye. Thanks a lot for coming out this week.
Thanks for having me.
Their time with the Smith-Irwins had come to an end.
See ya.
I just realised that everything I was doing was actually just ruining my life instead of making it better.
Hi, stranger. How are you? Are you tanned?
When my dad died, I just think I kind of blamed it on my mum. But now I don't blame my mum. I don't blame anyone.
Okay, thank you. Being away made Jade to realise that the way she treats me is not right.
Made me realise that Mum ain't going to be here forever. And like, You should cherish all the time that you have with your parents.
She should try and remember the positive things she had with her dad. Time is the greatest healer.
I missed you.
Yeah.
Yeah, how was your week?
Missed you as well, mate. Biggest change in Connor, and the thing I'm most pleased about, is him stop smoking the weed. That has made such a difference to his old mannerism, his health, his attitude. Totally different personality, totally different, and that's the most thing I'm happy about. Okay, then, yeah, no problem.
Danny's picking her up, and she still. Before I went, my relationship with my mum was awful. But then when I got back, we were just like best friends, like bread and butter. We just completely, everything we did together now, we go out for walks, we go cinema, we just, not even, it's just like little things we do with each other. It's just like, it's really good, we get along. We still have our little arguments, but every family has arguments, but it's not like it was at all.
I'm really proud of him. Before, he didn't really love himself, couldn't be bothered, but yeah, I'm really proud of him.
I've been seeing Lewis a bit more when I've come back now, and it's just a lot better. He's actually starting to realise I'm his dad, and it's just really nice to see him smile with me and know who I am.